So today we will see what are the uses of turgidity. There are totally 5 uses in our syllabus. So we'll start with the first one. Soft tissue become rigid because of the turgidity. Before going for this uses, we'll go for what is wilting. So here we will take 2 examples, what will happen in hot afternoon and what is happening in the evening. So when it is a hot afternoon, transpiration rate is more than the absorption rate. Here you can see that transpiration, evaporation of the water in the form of vapor is more than the absorption of water from the root. So there will be no enough water in the leaves. So the petiole and the lamina become loose. What is petiole and lamina? This is called as petiole and this leaf blade is called as lamina. So whole area covered by a leaf which is called as lamina. So they become loose because they don't have enough water. And because of that the leaf can be drops down. Or you can say the leaf can be wilt like this. But in evening less transpiration is there, because the temperature is slightly cooler down. So absorption rate will be exceed or increase. So now the leaf cell become turgid and the wilted leaf can become stand out. So this is the first use of the turgidity, that is soft tissue can become rigid. Now we'll go for the second. Turgor pressure can help to push through the hard groove. There are 2 examples given in your book. First, obviously, the easiest one, that when the germinating seeds were there, they'll develop the plantlets or the seedling. So they'll develop the force. Which force? Turgor pressure. Because of this turgor pressure force, they can push through the upper layer from the soil. And the second example, that is roots of tree. Many times you have seen that some roots of tree, there has been seen to crack the walls or concrete of the floor. They will crack these things and they'll emerge it out. So when they are getting this kind of force, that is because of the turgor pressure. Third one, it build up the root pressure. Now what is root pressure? This root pressure always develop in the root because the continuation movement of the water. If this is the root hair cell, first cell, second cell, third cell. So here because of the osmosis continuously the water will be moved from the one cell to the another cell. And this cell to cell osmosis, because of this cell to cell osmosis, the root pressure will be developed. A simple experiment was given in a book. What is root pressure? We have to take only a simple well-watered plant, well-potted plant. You can take tomato plant, you can take balsam plant, any well-watered smaller plant you can take. Now few centimeter above the ground, if this is the plant like this, but few centimeter above, we have to cut it. And we are fixing a glass tubing in this stem of the plant with the means of the rubber connection. Now because we have cutted the plant from this side, the xylem portion is already there, open out. So the water will be oozing out. Now what we are doing, we are just collecting the water inside this tube or the rubber tube, and when it is collecting this kind of oozing water, here in the manometer they find the pressure and the upward flow of the water can be measured. What is manometer? It is the instrument which measures the fluid pressure. So like this way we can find it out, the root pressure. So turgor or the turgidity in the root cells can build up the root pressure because all the cells are full of the water That's why they are turgid, and because of this turgidity they can exert a root pressure. This root pressure also help in the ascent of sap. What is ascent of sap? That we will learn in the next chapter. This kind of oozing out of the water, which is also called as bleeding. What is this bleeding? That also we will learn in detail in next chapter. Next is, turgor is always helping in the opening and closing of stomata. Now this theory is important for you, so understand it well. Here I have took first condition, that is close stomata. So this is the stomatal pore. These are called as guard cells. Here I have drawn the nucleus. This is vacuole, and these pink dots are called as chromoplast. Now see, always the inner layer of the guard cells which are facing towards the pores are thicker than the outer one. The inner wall is thick than the outer wall. So outer facing wall is thin. So when it is in daytime, the chloroplasts are present in the guard cells. They will start the photosynthesis. So end of the photosynthesis, you can see here some glucose molecule can be present. And other chemical changes also take place. It means other minerals and water, with the water other minerals can also get inside. Because of that, you can see here in the vacuole, the vacuolar sap have more concentration. So osmotic pressure in the guard cells will be increased. Now here some adjacent cells were present, which is surrounding of this guard cells. Here the osmotic pressure is higher, and here the osmotic pressure will be lower. So as you know the theory, from the lower osmotic pressure towards the higher osmotic pressure, water will be drawn out. So here you can see that these guard cells will be full of the water. Okay, so guard cells become turgid. Because of this turgidity, what happened? They will exert the pressure, the TP, or you can say that turgor pressure. Because of that turgor pressure, this inner wall become stretched. They will arch towards the outside. And because of that, you will get the condition like this, which is called as opening of stomata or the stomatal pores. Opposite to it, when it is a night time, then there will be no photosynthesis. If no photosynthesis, then no glucose. If the cellular sap have a lesser concentration of the glucose and other chemical, then here the lower osmotic pressure will be there. And the surrounding cells have higher osmotic pressure. So the water will be moved outside. And this guard cells become now flaccid. Because of that, this arched inner wall will be again back to its original position. That's why the stomata will be closed during night time. Clear about it? What is the opening and closing of stomata? And the last one, fifth number, which is called as turgor movement. Turgor movement, it is also called as bending movement in some plants. You have seen the mimosa plant, touch me not plant. We are calling it as a normal way, touch me not plant. Mimosa pudica. This scientific name you have to remember for the exam point of view. What is Mimosa pudica? It's a scientific name of the touch me not plant. So when we strongly touch any part of the plant, then what happen? That is, generate the stimulus of the touch in the plant. And because of that, they will lose the turgidity at the base of the petiole. Here, particular in this plant, the base of the petiole, see here, if this is the stem or a kind of branch, and this swollen or the basal part of this petiole, petiole means this is called as petiole, the stalk of the leaf. So the stalk of the leaf, which is here somewhat swollen, which is called as pulvinus. So what happened here? In this portion of the pulmonus, they are losing the turgidity. It means water will be drawn outside here. And because of that, this portion become flaccid and the leaf will be wilted. So that's why whenever we touch the mimosa plant, the leaf will be wilted. And same thing, this stimulants of the leaf will be go for the all neighboring leaves, and slowly the leaves will be dropping down. This kind of bending movements you can find it out, or turgor movement also you can find it out in some insectivorous plant. A pitcher shape, a pitcher plant which have a lead like structure, so when they are getting any kind of insects, they'll just lose the turgidity here, so the lead will be closed. Okay, same in this kind of pitcher, in this kind of insectivorous plant. What they are doing, if here any insects come, they will lose the turgidity in this hinge region, and these two portion will be like this, they will be closed. So the insect will be trapped inside it. So this kind of turgor movement is present in insectivorous plant also, and some plants like sunflower, when they are showing this bending movement towards the sun. So when sun is moving in that direction, at that direction also the sunflower will be moving their face area. So these are the bending movements, or you can say that turgor movement. So these are the 5 points which was included into the turgidity, importance of turgidity, or you can say there's the usefulness of turgidity.